Hello, this is Mr. Goss. Today I'm going to show you how to get started using VCarve Pro. So I'm going to go back to my home screen and I've got a link to VCarve Pro right here. If you do not, you need to watch my previous video that is in Canvas on how to install VCarve Pro. Additionally, it may be found in the same exact folder where you found RoboC for the last unit. In my case, I just have them as links on my desktop, but it could be in Mr. Derry's lab that this is in the same folder as RoboC. Anyway, event, what you want to do is you want to open up VCarve Pro. And when you open VCarve Pro, you come to this home page right here, and you're going to do create a new file. Now, today I'm just going to walk you through how to do some simple drawing techniques. Eventually we are gonna design that clock project here, but today, before you can do anything like that, you got to know how to work the software. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice, as soon as you open up a new file, it asks you a whole bunch of questions specifically about what they call job setup. You can think of this as the block of wood that you're going to be machining on the CNC router. So let's make our block of wood measure 8 inches by 10 inches. And let's also tell it that the block of wood is 3/4 of an inch, or 0.75 inches tall. And then it asks us for our datum. This goes to math class where we think of the X and Y plane. So for example, this would be X0 would be at this red dot climbing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this would be negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and obviously Y is in this direction. I want you to put this in the lower left-hand corner so that now everything is positive. I think it's easier to work this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to work in inches. We can also choose to make this be out of different pieces of wood. When we do our clock, we're going to make it out of maple, so maybe I'll choose maple. Right now it doesn't look like maple, but if I click on the 3D view, now it looks like maple. I don't like to draw in this view though, because looking at the grain, it makes it kind of hard to see. So I'm going to always go to new, and I think it's easier to draw on the white screen. One thing to know about VCarve Pro that's a little bit tricky is that anytime you make any changes, like I just made all these changes, you gotta hit OK or it won't do anything, like it won't accept them and you'll be stuck here. So I'm gonna hit OK because I've got 8 inches by 10 inches at 3/4 of an inch thick with a datum in the lower left hand corner in inches, in maple. Don't worry about resolution. It's probably best to have it on fastest so it renders really quick. And I'm going to hit OK. And here's my block ready to go. Get rid of that. Okay, today I'd like you to learn some of the tools that you can use to do some basic drawing. And in fact, the drawing that we do together today, you're going to save and you're going to put into your folder, your IT folder, so that I can give you a grade. This is going to be the first grade for this new unit. Alright, the first tool I'd like to use is the circle tool. If I click on the circle tool, it asks me a number of questions. For example, where on the XY plane do I want this to land? Well, I'd like it to be kind of centered, so I'm going to say on X, I'm going to put it at 4 inches, and on Y, I'm going to put it at 5 inches. That would be the center of the circle. And then it asks me two questions. Do I want to have it, do I want to give my measurement as a radius, which is half the distance of a circle, or diameter, which is all the way across the circle? Well, let's go with diameter this time, and let's tell it that we want a 1-inch diameter circle. And I'm going to hit create. And hey, that looks pretty centered. And I'm going to say close after I've hit create. So you know how I said you had to hit OK In this case, you have to hit create. So I'm going to close that. So I'm on my way with making my daisy. That looks pretty good. By the way, I can double click this, and when I do, I could stretch it, I could move it, I could, well, rotating a circle doesn't really look like you're doing anything, but it is spinning around right now. Now, I messed that all up. What do I do to get it back? Well, see this arrow right here that says undo? That's the place you're going to go. And you just keep hitting undo until you get back to where you want to be. So undo, undo, undo. Oops. I went too far. Hey, guess what? They have redo. Boom. There I am, back where I need to be. Okay, cool. Now I want to make petals on this daisy. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool, which is right next to the circle tool. They look very similar, but an ellipse is like a flattened out circle. So I'm going to choose that. And this time, I'm not going to worry about the position of it or the size of it. It's kind of neat that I can also just come over here and I can stretch out using, if I hold down my left mouse key, I can stretch this out and I can move it anywhere I want. And I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to hit apply, and then I'm going to hit close. Now I don't really like where this is, so if I double click on it, hey, by the way, first when I single click on it, it'll select it, but you're going to find you can't move it. You got to double click on it, and then you can kind of move it around, kind of put it where you want it. I like that. That looks pretty good. Okay. So the next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to make the bottom of this petal, and there's going to be a bunch of these petals. I'd like to make the bottom of this petal kind of rounded in the opposite direction, like an inverse curve. So I'm going to come in here with another circle, and I'm going to pick up the center of my previous circle. So instead of using this data, I'm going to just come here and notice how like nothing happens, nothing happens. Then when I get close to the center, it says X4 and X5. It's picking up the center of the pre-existing circle. I'm going to left click and drag just like that. Pretty cool. And then I'm going to hit, remember, always got to hit apply. Now, if you want to be super technical, I made this 1.89996. I really don't care what size you make it. This is just teaching you how to do stuff. But that's what mine was. I'm going to hit apply, and then I'm going to hit close. Now I've got two circles. I really don't want this second circle. All I want is part of this line. So I'm going to come over here to this tool right here. It's called the Interactive Vector Trim Tool. It's like a pair of scissors. I'm going to come over here, select it, and I'm going to cut the bottom of my petal. Boom. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut away the circle. And now the bottom of my petal is kind of like got a curve to match the center of my daisy. I'm going to hit close. I'm going to select my petal again by double clicking on it. And this time, instead of using my mouse to move it, I'm going to use the down arrow key. So I'm actually pushing the down arrow key and I'm moving it down because I want to get it a little bit closer, maybe like that. That looks pretty good to me. Another great way, I like to use that down arrow key because it gives me a little more control. Okay, now I want to copy this thing over and over. Hey, you know what though? First, I think I'm going to write my name on it. I'm going to come to this tool right here called Draw Text, and I'm going to choose, I don't know, look at all the different choices here. Doesn't matter. You can choose whatever you want. Atlanta? Sure. Oh, it says I didn't enter any text. No big deal. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to write my name. And then I'm going to hit apply. And it says Mr. Goss on my petal. Okay, I could also double click on this, and if I hover over one of the blue corners, see how it gives a little rotate symbol here, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to rotate my name around like this. And I'm going to try to square it up. Hey, I'm having trouble squaring it up. One trick is if I push and hold the shift key, as I rotate, it will snap to 90 degrees, meaning it will lock at 90 degrees. I also think my name should be bigger, so I'm going to put it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to use my arrow key again to move it. Dunk, dunk. That looks pretty good to me. Cool. All right, I have my petal with my name on it. Now I'm going to select my petal with my name on it by dragging a box across it. The reason I dragged a box across it is because that allows me to select two items at once. Hey, you want to know another way to select two items at once? If I push and hold the shift key, I can select the petal, and then I can select my name. If I don't push and hold the select key, it'll let me select the petal, but then as soon as I click on Mr. Goss, it deselects the petal. So it's annoying. You're like, oh, I want that. No, I want that. No, I want that. No, I want both. I'll drag across them. Boom, I got them both. Cool. Now I've selected both. I'm pretty happy, and I want to make a whole bunch of these petals to go around the center of my flower. So now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to choose a neat choice called Create a Circular Array. It's right here. It's tricky because this is a linear array if you want to make like columns and rows, but you want to do it in a circle. So you're going to choose it. Notice I've got it selected already. You got to have it selected. And it says, choose the rotation center point. Well, I know that my flower's center is at 4 and 5. 4 inches and 5 inches. Hey, notice it highlighted that. And then select the object size. I think that's already naturally selected from me selecting that. And then it says total angle. I want to go 360 degrees around. I don't think I can fit 12 petals here. So we're going to reduce that. I don't know. Do you think I can get 8? Let's find out. Copy. Hey, I can get 8 in there. Hey, I wonder if I choose 9. Can I get 9? Oh, all right. Whoops. Hey, remember what you can do? You can always go undo, and I can go back here. I think what it did is it copied the copy. So I chose 9, but I had every single one of these selected, so it was 9 times 8, and so yeah, it made way too many. But let's come back in here and see if we can do it another way. So let's see. I'm going to do undo. I'm going to come back here, and now I've got it selected. Instead of 9, I'm going to go 12. Let's try 12. Nice job, Mr. Goss. You blew that. Okay. Let's try this again. All right, I'm going to stop this video right here. Hey, are you all done?